and wrestling.
And I've seen you wrestling, and I've seen you acting. I've not seen you doing your night portering.
Yeah, you have to come and stay at our hotel one day.
I will do.
And this is my darling wife, Christina. What do you do for work?
I work for a company called Autism Plus. So it's autism, but other disabilities as well.
Adults.
Yeah, with adults, not children, adults.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Excellent. Yeah, so basically we don't have anything scripted. We wanted to keep it like an open chat sort of thing. I don't like having a script of questions. I just like to see where the interview takes us sort of thing, because it just seems a bit more real that way. It doesn't feel rehearsed at all. So first off, I want to ask, now obviously, Mark, you have what is a registered disability.
Yes.
Would you be able to tell us the name?
I have dwarfism, and my particular dwarfism is called niche syndrome with a K, and there's about 25 of us in the UK.
Wow.
So it's one of the rarer forms of dwarfism. There is over 200 different types of dwarfism.
Oh, I did not know that.
No, I didn't until quite recently. Obviously, achondroplasia is the most common one that you see, short limbs, big torso.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why mine is different to anyone else's, but everything seems to be in proportion on myself. Be quiet. And obviously I've got hearing loss. I wear hearing aids. Cleft palate when I was a child.
Your legs have been broken.
Yeah, that's all to do with the dwarfism, really. But yeah, so yeah, I have a few things that are wrong with me, but I tend not to let it bother me.
Yeah.
If anything, I kind of use it to my advantage.
I've seen.
As you can see in the ring,
You're the only person I know and have seen use a vehicle indoors at Pontins. So when you were going round with your scooter, you're the only person I've ever seen actually be allowed to do that.
You mean apart from yourself? Yeah.
Well, yeah. apart from my chair, but mine's not electric, you see. Mine's self-propelled. Yours, you were zooming in and out of people. You were slaloming all over the place. It was great.
Yours is not self-propelled. Yours the wife.
No, my new one's self-propelled. She won't push it now. Because it's a bright, I got it, it's bright orange, so she won't push the wheelchair now. She said she feels like she's pushing the pram. Because I got it as bright as I could.
It's ginger.
It is a ginger wheelchair. So, yeah.
Yeah, when I'm in a big complex, like a holiday camp, or even in the town centre, I do use a electric scooter that kids use. They're much easier, safe walking.
Yeah, and what colour is your scooter?
Oh, what?
Pink.
Oh, mine was a lovely pink colour.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, you could see you coming a mile off with that pink scooter. It was hilarious.
With my pink glitter hair, you know.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you're saying you have dwarfism as as your condition, and it's a very rare type. What you said is 25 of you in total in the UK.
Something like that, yeah. And 3 of them are my daughters.
Oh wow! Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a genetic condition as well, then, is it? Or
for me, yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm the first in the family, and then my 3 like myself. So we don't know how it started. 2 bad genes in the family, and up pop along like them, and then it seems to be genetic now. Yes.
okay.
So I mean, myself and Christina, we're hoping to have a child, and there's a 50-50 chance again that it could be either like myself or like Christina.
Okay. Well,
Never know.
you never know, but as long as they're healthy, that's exactly.
There might be a little legs junior.
Yeah, there might be a little legs junior then, because if you've got 3 daughters, not got a son.
Yeah.
No, it's got 3 daughters.
3 daughters, no son. We might get a mini. We might get a mini you then.
Yeah, I need one.
Back it up, he's outnumbered.
Yeah. But So yeah, that's. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of negatives to having a condition. Obviously, anybody with a disability that's visible, everybody seems to stare. But obviously, with the negatives, there's always positives. So, I mean, for yourself, what sort of positives have you found?
Well, the positive for me are the jobs I've done in the past. If it weren't for my dwarfism, I wouldn't have got jobs in Harry Potter
Yeah.
or Fantastic Beasts, or I wouldn't have, well, I could have been anyone could be a wrestler, but for the gimmick that I play, I seem to get many bookings because of that. So,
Yeah.
being the only little guy in Europe, everybody wants little legs.
Well,
so
yeah.
They are the positives.
I mean, I remember your wrestling match with
Iron Drew, where you slapped his bum.
Where you slapped his bum and then you clenched onto his leg and you wouldn't let go and he's trying to drag you around the ring. Now that to me was the funniest part of the entire weekend, because you actually, that's what I love about yourself. You embrace it. Yes, I'm small. Let's have a laugh with it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I love so much about it. I mean, for example, with the chair, people say to me, "What have you done?" I say, "Oh, the missus has pushed me down the stairs." That's the highlight of the jokes I can do. But then obviously you can do that in the wrestling ring, and everybody's like, "Fair play to you, absolutely fantastic." I mean, if I remember correctly, the end of the match, everybody was up and clapping. It was such a good event. That it was amazing, and then obviously the Royal Rumble as well.
There's plenty of stuff I do in it that the average Joe wouldn't be able to do, and so they can be very funny, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I have had complaints wrestling. Oh, you shouldn't be wrestling. It's not funny. Blah blah blah. I did another holiday camp, and somebody made a complaint to the holiday camp, and I had to not work for a few weeks while it got looked into, and in the end and she was actually a carer for disabled adults having a holiday on the camp.
So they didn't think that you allowing yourself to do what you wanted to do, they thought that wasn't acceptable.
Yeah. And they're carers.
Wow. That's something else. You wouldn't expect that from a carer. You'd think a carer would be very much, let's let you do what you want to do. You have a disability, but let's not let that stop you from doing what you want.
As long as it's not offensive,
yeah,
or rude,
no,
or un-PC as they say,
yeah,
then there shouldn't be a problem.
No.
As a carer, you should promote independence anyway.
Well, absolutely. It's like obviously with that they are some major league sort of like positives that you've found with the acting and with the wrestling, obviously, because it's a memorable thing. And obviously, within the world of acting, smaller people are needed for smaller roles. For people like Warwick Davis, was it Kenny Baker who did R2D2? These are some really...
I knew him very well.
You know...
I knew Kenny very well.
You knew Kenny very well. Well, unfortunately, I never got to meet him.
2 pantos with him.
Oh, really? That's amazing. You actually did 2 pantos with him.
Yeah, I knew him for about 15 years before he passed away.
Wow. And being an avid Star Wars fan, that was a massive loss to film, to basically to film, because he was so well known for it. But we, on the plus side though, we did get to meet Jimmy V, who replaced him as R2D2.
I know Jimmy.
You know Jimmy? Oh, we met Jimmy at a Comic-Con in Prestatyn last year.
With Spencer, wasn't it?
With Spencer Wilding, who was obviously Darth Vader in Rogue One. And I tell you what, he was the nicest guy in the world. And we've got photos of it, but we didn't realise until afterwards, me and him were dressed in the same clothing. We both had purple shirts and black trousers on, and he came and stood next to me. And it was literally like Little and Large, is what he pointed out to me.
Yeah.
But he was such a down-to-earth guy. But then, obviously you've done all this positive, which would keep your own self-esteem, your morale and your mental health up. But growing up, I mean, if you don't want to answer any of the questions, feel free just to say you don't want to. But growing up with a disability, children are cruel. Children don't understand differences and they like to ask questions and point stuff out. Did you have trouble when you were younger adapting around other people? Did you have problems with your mental health because of this? Or
you were all right, weren't you?
Back in my day, I mean, I'm 46 now, and when I was at school, we went to boarding school.
Ah, me too.
We never went to mainstream school.
Right.
It was never a done thing. So I went to Penhurst School in Chipping Norton, Oxfordshire, and I went to Lord Mayor Trelaw College.
Wow.
In Hampshire, and I was there for over 10 years. So really, from the age of 6 up to 18, I went to boarding school, and they were all disabled. So, in our own right, we never had that sort of problems anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we were picking on each other, we knew the weak spot,
Yeah.
We knew how to pick on them.
If you wanted to annoy somebody, you knew exactly what to say.
Yeah, I made friends. I learned a lot. I mean, one of my friends I had, his name was Phil, and I used to call him Cabbage, and he used to call me Sprout. and the care staff and the teachers would say, "You can't call each other that." I said, "Why not? That's our nickname to each other."
Yeah.
We were kids as well as disabled kids.
Mm.
So, you had that both sides of it.
Yeah.
You did what normal kids would do anyway, plus our own situations.
Yeah. And Christina, obviously, you how long have you guys been married?
We got married last year, August 14th, 6 months from Valentine's Day.
August. Okay, so it was only a month after your wedding we met you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, Christina, you guys have been married for a year now, and do you ever find it difficult in situations when you're out and about at all? Anybody like targeting? Because I've been targeted once or twice, but obviously I've only been in this position for a year, so I'm only at the beginning of it. I mean, what sort of stuff have you actually experienced, and how did you cope with it?
It winds me up because he'll turn his hearing aid off and he'll use his scooter. And when we used to use public transport, it's the children are inquisitive, but it's more the parents and the adults that look and laugh and point and stare.
Yeah.
And instead of explaining to children people are different, can be different, and it is upsetting some of the things that they say, and sometimes I've had to say to the parents, I don't mind answering questions for you, but please don't let your child stare and laugh and just sit there and laugh with them.
Yeah.
It annoys me. I mean, he's used to it. He says he's used to it, but he doesn't hear half of it because he just turns his hearing aid off. But yeah.
Again, using it to your advantage.
I get annoyed as well.
Can't hear you.
I'm sure you're the same. You see it all the time.
Yeah.
You get used to it. You let it just go like this. But Christina's only seen it for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And also with her own clothes that she looks after, she sees it all the time. And
yeah.
It's something she's still learning to not accept, but get used to.
Yeah.
I've done care work for about 4.5 years, and you are learning every day.
Mm-hmm.
And people can be cruel. And it's just people aren't educated enough in different disabilities, because not all disabilities are visible.
Exactly, yeah.
And I suppose with Mark with his dwarfism, that is visible. But I look after people with autism, and they act differently to us, but to them it's normal.
Yeah.
And children still will see why they're doing that to their parents, and they can't. They're not educated enough to tell them, so they'll just laugh it off. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for example, there's a TV program that I really enjoyed that you've probably seen, which was called An Idiot Abroad. Now in season 2, with the most amazing Mancunian. Now, I'm from Manchester, so I love Carl Pilkington. The guy's hilarious. He goes and finds the little dwarf village, and he rang Warwick and he was telling Warwick how he thought it was such a good idea and how he thought it's given him independence and they're enjoying their lives. And he didn't see the other side of it, of it's making a sideshow of people, this entire village. And Warwick found it difficult to try and explain that to Carl about the pros and cons of it. So obviously when you're saying that people don't understand and they think they have the right idea of the situation, I'll explain this, oh, this is fine, that's fine. People don't understand to the level of how something like that can be quite hurtful for somebody to see, whereas other people think, oh, it's a bit of entertainment. I mean, for example, there's a big difference between going out and do a wrestling match and then being stuck in a little village and here you go, this is where you live now, you put on a show for us every day and that sort of thing. I mean, personally, what would you think of like that sort of scene that Carl was talking to Warwick about? Would you think of it being a positive or a negative, or?
It depends which eye you're looking through, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're a positive person.
I mean, I'm a positive. Yeah. I tend not to let a lot of things bother me. There are things, obviously.
Yeah.
And certain days are better than others. But you find it quite.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like it's still now. I mean, we live on a street and there's still children that will say things, and we've lived here 2 years in the same house. They see him every day.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not so much now with this virus, but I don't know.
What about that story on the beach?
What?
When the girls were
Oh,
up?
yeah, the day after our wedding, we were all on the beach.
Yeah.
Was it that one?
Yeah, up in Scarborough.
Yeah, we're after the wedding, and a family just walked past, and because there was obviously Mark, his 3 daughters with dwarfism, and with me with my children as well, we were all playing together, and someone just got their camera out and started videoing them, and I went, I wasn't so pleasant. I asked, what are you doing?
Yeah.
In not a nice way, and say, please delete that. Because there was no need for it. What we were doing, playing rounders or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's just a normal family on the beach.
Yeah.
And they were just laughing with their friends, and it was, I can't.
They were literally just blatantly taking pictures and videos.
That's.
It was so in your face.
It's not right, is it?
But when questioned, they weren't in the wrong. It was me that was in the wrong for questioning them.
But they were invading your privacy, your private family time, because they found it titillating for themselves.
And they didn't even try to hide it.
No. So it's just...
if they wanted a photo, I would have given them one.
Well, yeah. I mean, for a start, you're an actor, so you're having your photo taken all the time and being put on TV and movies.
All they had to do was ask.
Yeah. I mean, do you ever find a lot of people, like, they avoid speaking to you and they'll speak to the carer? A lot of people will accept him and go, all right, mate, how you doing? And then there's also, at the same time, there's a lot of people who pity. They come at you with it's, what's the best way to describe it? Well, I think pity would be the best way to describe it, really, because they just come up to you and they're like, oh, you're all right. Patronising, there we go, perfect word. They're very patronising about it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you can get both situations in 10 minutes in the same pub.
It has to be the pub, doesn't it?
No, but, I mean, for an example, you go for a pint, and one guy will be very, very nice to you, and then the next one will be patronising.
Yeah.
You can get both situations happen within 10 minutes, one after the other. Anyway.
That's crazy.
What amazes people is that Mark plays pool, and he's a pool shark, really. And they were like, he can't play pool, and obviously when he gets on the table, he beats everyone. They're like, and that's when you gain your respect at the pub, isn't it? When it's not that he has to justify who he is.
Absolutely not. No.
It's that people look, oh, he's a normal person.
I mean, have you guys got anything you would like to say? Obviously, with this being live, it's being used as sort of like a video to like help anybody out there. Have you got any like tips like to help people cope with everyday scenarios that they might come across?
Well, obviously there's things like keep talking, ringing another your friends every day, FaceTime and video calls. Everybody likes them.
Yeah.
Well, I want to add that I was intrigued by not intrigued, that's the wrong word. We met through wrestling because I love wrestling. I'm obsessed with wrestling, and that's how we met. And I never saw Mark when he came in the ring as Little Legs. I never saw a disability. For me, when I saw him, I admired him for stepping into the ring and just not caring about what anyone thought.
Yeah.
There was that instant attraction for me because I thought, wow.
Well,
you just don't care about what people think.
I got the feeling you were quite well known within the WAW circuit because the second your music started, before you even appeared on the stage to come out towards the ring, Blink 182 played, and the entire Norwich lot that follows the WAW religiously, they were up, they were chanting, they were cheering, they knew you were coming out on stage, they were well excited. So obviously you've got quite a big following within the wrestling world.
The family of WAW, well, I've been wrestling 15 years, so I've known them pretty much 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach was a little boy then. He wasn't far off my height when I first met him. And now look at him.
Yeah.
8'12" and 28 stone, big beast that he is.
Yeah. I'll be telling him this on Monday that you said he's 8'12". So.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, I used to tag with Rhea when she was 15 years old.
With
Wave or Page.
Oh right, yeah. So real Rhea.
Yeah.
Real Rhea, yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is where it gets confusing for me because I didn't know the family until after Rhea was Paige. So to me, she's Paige, and when you say Rhea to me, I think Saraya. But obviously, it's not Saraya because that's Saraya Knight. That's her wrestling name, and then her daughter's called Saraya. So it gets a little bit confusing for me at times. But yeah.
So yeah, I've known Paige since she was like 14, 15 years old. We used to tag together for All Star against her mum.
Wow.
Spraya, and
you're brave.
2-on-1.
Yeah, you're brave going up against Saraya Knight, mate, because that woman is terrifying.
Spraya, she's a stiff bitch. She is. So one time she booted me in the head, and the shoe print had come up on my forehead.
Wow.
Big zigzags. You ask her about. She'll tell you I had W's on my head. For about an hour.
Was she trying to put the company logo there, sort of thing?
Property of WAW.
Property of WAW across your forehead.
Yeah. I had it for an hour. Yeah.
She is terrifying. I've seen her pick people up by the hair and throw them round the ring.
Yeah.
I've never seen that approach before. As much as she's a lovely, lovely person to talk to, I would not want to annoy her. Because she seems like she could take on the best of them, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Great to work with her as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, saying that, everybody I speak to within the WAW, they have the absolute utmost respect for her. Everybody seems to love her to pieces like that. She doesn't see disability. She doesn't see anything like that. She just sees people for who they are. And if
the
you,
whole company,
yeah,
the whole company does.
Yeah.
They got the I'm terrible with names. The guy, the blind guy.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he does.
He was in the film.
Some of the and Frightmare. Some of the stuff he does is bonkers. Jumping up the top rope.
Yeah.
Onto 10 people on the ground, and you're blind.
Yeah.
Bonkers. But they made him brave enough to do it.
Well, yeah. But I think, to be honest, we've kind of covered everything. I think, guys, are you happy with everything?
Yeah, if you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been great for you to actually take the time to come and speak to us. We're getting so many people wanting to do this, to actually raise awareness of things, and to be honest, we're quite happy about it because we're doing all this off our own back. We haven't got anybody doing backing for us. We've got nobody pointing us in the right direction. So we're just trying to put a feel out there and find what we can do, sort of things, to help everybody. And everybody's been so helpful in response, being like, that's a great idea, let's help. So thank you so much for your time, guys. It's been really appreciated.
Pleasure.